Hey, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Wrong One's podcast. I'm Dinesh Sagi, joined by Punk. Hey, Punk.
Hey, hi, yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
All good, man.
Yeah, I'm sure you're quite optimistic in terms of how things are progressing for CSK, given
Yeah, like,
the big win against LSG yesterday.
yeah, it was a good, like, can't say a big win, but yeah, they scraped too.
I mean, it is a big win given, if you look
Yeah,
at it in
it's a
the
moral
context
booster.
that they were struggling to even put 110, 120 on the board, and
Yeah,
obviously LSG on the other hand were doing reasonably well with the likes of Puran and Mitchell Marsh, but CSK managed to restrict them to like 160 something, and then bounce back
yeah,
with the
like
chase.
in terms of see the 110, that it's also the pitch conditions as well, right? But
Yeah.
eh, so they were like playing still not that 10 per run. They were going at 7, 8 if
Hmm.
wherever they played, right? So
Yeah.
w- in terms of winning this was because it was that 170 odd mark
Hmm.
which was needed
Yeah.
below the 180, right?
Hmm.
So, any other team would have been able to, like, the way they got the start and, the 80 odd runs in the first, they could have just finished it off in the 17th, 18th over, right? It wouldn't have gone that much and the amount of wickets.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've scraped through basically, right? In terms of, getting those runs.
Hmm.
If not for Dhoni hitting this thing, the entire team got stuck apart from the first two openers.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was like good for Dhoni as a captain because when captain can perform at
Hmm.
this age, it also gives a little bit of motivation towards the team as well, right?
Sure.
And then it might just open up a bit from the batting team as well. So
Hmm.
let's talk about the squad actually. Like in terms of so definitely like they dropped Ashwin, which I recommended like because
Hmm.
in the power play, he was not doing that well. And Dhoni did say that like there was too much pressure. So they got in Overton, dropped Conway. And that gave them that additional thing. And Ansul composed like he already did well in that first when he with Punjab, right? So
Yeah. Hmm.
that is a good combination. And I told you, like having two left-handers, same bowling style,
Hmm.
with Mukesh and with Khalil, it did not make sense at all, right? And Kamboj has done comparatively well for Mumbai last year, right?
Yeah.
And they went full on for him. I was a bit surprised why they didn't start with Compose in the beginning of this thing. Right?
Yeah.
And like he shows, he's a very fiery character, right? If you see, he's not like timid in terms of okay, gives a four or something. He tries to. You can see his run up and he's very aggressive when in his bowling, which is very good. So that was a good pick. And then the best thing which has happened is they've got Sheikh Rashid. He's not an opener. It's just for everybody to know.
This is Shaik, right?
But yeah. And he's been there, he's just 20 years old, right? So he's been there for like last 2, 3 years, he's been under
Hmm.
CSK camp, right?
Sure.
And I did look up a video,
Hmm.
of him playing
Hmm.
on the nets, and Dhoni was just behind him. Like, that confidence, maybe, and they always say that until the player is not, under the camp, even if they bring the junior guys, right? If they don't see the spark, if they don't see that, they do not feel them in.
Hmm.
So most probably, Dhoni was. I could see that like your Instagram video, right, where he was hitting some shots on the off and then
Hmm.
on the leg as well, like, on side, and Dhoni was just behind him.
Yeah.
So it made sense, right? So they would have seen something in him, right? And to put him as an opener,
Hmm.
he's got like he's got that Ruturaj type of batting.
Bad lift as well. Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen it on a lot of comparisons on socials around his and
and
Ruthraj's
his
batting.
shots are very like natural,
Crisp.
free flowing,
Yeah.
yeah, risk free shots, and that's what you need. As an opener, you don't have to go bang bang in the first 2, 3 overs, right? And then you
Hmm.
can accelerate once you know. So it's better to play those, and most of his shots were ground, like fours, and it was in the gaps. Right?
Hmm.
His onside looks really good. I would like to see a bit more of his off, how he plays like off drives and all that. But
Yeah.
most of the shots went on the on. But that was very classical. It was all timing. There was nothing he went. The one which he went hard on, got out,
Yeah.
right? He, he wanted to take the game on, right? So
Yeah.
maybe that's not his case, right? So he should just look at timing. Even Ruturaj, when he tries to go, like, he gets out same way, right? So they're more of like batsmen who can time the ball, right? And that
Hmm.
helps. So they got a good find. Like, hope he continues as an opener.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Just
again,
on that, right?
yeah, go
Obviously,
on.
it's good to see, the fresh breath of air, and obviously, because Shaikh Rashid played that attacking style, it allowed someone like Rachin to settle in, and then he sort of played his natural game, and it helped both of them in terms of the opening partnership, right? The point you made at the start of the call, the way they started off, they almost got like 80 runs without losing a wicket, and all of a sudden we were expecting the game to wrap up in 15. No, that hasn't happened, but at
Yeah,
least from
they got, I
CSK's
think, 50 odd,
perspective,
50, yeah, they got like 50, 60 odd runs in the
60
first six
something. Okay.
overs. And
Yeah.
for then Sheikh got out in 27. Yeah, it was a good start. And like, I
Mhm.
do agree, Dinesh, right? So if somebody gets that touch, right? And
Yeah.
Rachin also was quite like, the thing was with Rachin, right? He did not like try to, again, he's a touch player. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is not the guy who hooks around, right? And the shots
Mhm.
which he tries, he gets out. And
Mhm.
most of the time in the last 4, 5 innings, he tried to hit the way out of like not getting those runs.
Mhm.
And here again, he was timing the ball, all grounded shots in the gap, and good strike rate. He got the 35 odd runs.
Yeah.
So that's what they need to start with.
Mhm.
He's a. It's not that he's not a power hitter, right? He can
Mhm.
hit spinners and all that. You can see he's really well built. He's got like the strength,
Mhm.
to take the bowlers, right? But he's not like not to compare like an Abhishek Sharma, like who they can go in the first ball itself, right?
Mhm.
Because slightly different style of playing, right? They're more built like T20 players, right?
Mhm.
Where you actually your swing is very good, right? So you see ball, you hit ball, right?
Mhm.
So, but if the ball seems a bit, then you get stuck, you know.
Yeah.
So something which Rachin is more of a technical, classy batsman who's actually a test batsman, yeah.
Mhm.
So for them, they need the timing, they're more like, so you cannot like ask them to be an Abhishek Sharma and an Abhishek Sharma to become a Rachin, You
Yeah.
understand it? Different types of batsmen.
Mhm.
So Rachin needs to do what he did best, take those drives, time the ball, hit in those gaps. He'll get
Yeah.
those runs because he's an opener. The only two fielders, you just have to make sure that whenever you're hitting, right, you're just making sure it's in the gaps, right? Or even if
Mhm.
you're working the ball, like not to overtime it, like just over the inner circle, and then you get your four, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they did, and even Sheikh Rashid, right? He, even if the balls which he hit over the ground were always like just before the boundary, but
Mhm.
all were timed, So, and I think so. If they continue that way, it'll be really good for them. They'll be able to get better partnerships. But the problem with CSK is Rahul Tripathi, right? I'm like when he took that catch, I felt like he will get that thing, and he came back. He got that four, and you could see that confidence in him. But again,
Yeah.
uh, man, like sometimes you have a really really
Bad sort
just
of
a
season, or a,
bad patch,
yeah, patch.
it's
Yeah.
a very bad patch, and
Anything you
the
do might not just
problem,
work in your
yeah,
favor. Yeah.
and the thing is, if he does not play now, he'll definitely get dropped next year.
Mhm.
That's why, because they've paid a lot of money. I think, I don't know, 5, 6 crores maybe.
Sure.
And I need to see that, but yeah. And
Yeah.
then I don't think so he'll be picked up by any other team.
Yeah. But
And
yeah,
he's
hopefully.
34, so
Yeah.
hopefully, like I'm feeling bad, but you know the club needs to see if whether he can actually continue or not, right? But I don't see him coming back, right? I would rather give the Matre guy if they're looking to get him,
Mhm.
and get Sheikh at one down,
Yeah.
because if we get a proper opener, then Sheikh can play at one.
Mhm.
Vijay Shankar still continues because Vijay has still that power to hit those sixes,
Yeah.
and he can hit. It's just that like I don't know, like some luck, some nervousness, but
Mhm.
it's not that he's a bad batsman as such,
Yeah.
you know. He's a good fielder as well, right? And he can still, and like if you see, uh, he's not going out timidly, right? He's hitting those shots, It's just that
At
he
least it's
does
showing
not
some
getting
intent.
convert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they're not converted into like 30, 40, 50, right?
Mhm.
But he's able to at least get some boundaries, first ball, that nervous is not there.
Hmm.
It's just that like that luck is not there, right? You see, you need a bit of luck as well, right?
Of
To
course, yeah.
continue for like 40, 50 runs, right?
Hmm.
And maybe this win would help because
Hmm.
after the first win, right?
Yeah,
He was not part of that first win, right? And after
yeah.
that, they've seen five losses.
Hmm.
Then this would like just give that confidence within the team as well. Because
Yeah.
sometimes when you go down the drain, it's just like you go down the lane, right? And you don't see the end of the tunnel
Hmm.
completely.
Yeah.
So they've seen a bit of this thing. But I
On
don't
the
see CSK qualifying because
Yeah, I was about to
um,
ask, right, because also it's equally important to address Shivam Dube's form, right? I mean, last season he was scoring at like 200 strike rate, but this season he's really struggling. And if you look at the game yesterday, if it wasn't for MS Dhoni and this like quick fire 20 odd, this game could have been voluntarily lost. Like they were really struggling. And
yeah,
Dube
I don't
strike
know.
rate 116. I mean, he scored a good 40 runs, which is good, but at the rate he scored,
Yes. So
sort of put CSK on the back
if you
foot.
look at his view, right, why he actually slowed down and why he was not going for it,
Hmm.
it was he thought like because the wickets were falling on the other side, right,
Okay. Yeah.
and if you have there was still a lot of runs to go through,
Hmm.
and he thought like let me take it deep as much as possible
Hmm.
and see what happens.
Yeah.
Uh, on the other side, like the guys who were supposed to like say Jadeja, right? That
Hmm.
was the wrong shot for Jadeja to play at that
Yeah.
point of time, right?
Hmm.
The runs were good. He just had to take like 6-7, 6-7, right?
Hmm.
They were already at going around nine, around about nine. You just needed 7.5, So even in the last 4, 5 overs, if you need like 10 with wickets in hand, you have like Dhoni and Dubey and all that, right?
Hmm.
But I think the Jadeja at 4, he played a very rash shot. It was Jadeja who was supposed to do the Dubey role,
Hmm.
which actually Dubey did. So it was an interchange, and that's what he told actually,
Hmm.
that he could have easily tonked them,
Yeah.
but he was very restricted. If you see with his shots, or definitely he would have hit some sixes of Markram.
Hmm.
He just hit one, which was very calculated.
Sure.
That shot, it was short pitch, right? And
Hmm.
if you look at his interview post the match, right, he told that like because the other players. Uh, so I just thought like I'll take some runs and see what happens
Yeah.
in the end.
Hmm.
And when Dhoni came in, right, and maybe that's what they decided like let's go for it.
Yeah.
Uh, it clicked, And as
Hmm.
I told, LSG do not have death bowlers. Right?
Yeah.
Uh, and the other thing was once Dhoni came in, right? I know everybody's talking about why he did not give Bishnoi
Hmm.
this thing.
Yeah.
Dubey
From
tonked him
LSG. Hmm.
because the thing is, if it had, and this is why they were trying to hold. If Dubey would have got out, right, I can
Hmm.
bet you 120% that Bishnoi would have been bowling
Krishna would
to
have
him.
bowled. Okay.
Absolutely,
Hmm.
you know, because Dubey was on the other side, right? He knew that that guy can tonk him for 3, 4 sixes in a go.
Yeah.
So that
So
was the
you think that
only.
was a good call from Rishabh Pant? There's not much he could have
It
done because
see,
of
it was a risk.
yeah.
The
Hmm.
problem, it was a risk, and Shardul Thakur has taken wickets, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And
And
we
he
have,
bowled well in
if
the
you see,
previous
yeah, in bold,
games.
like, and yeah,
He came the
and
19th over. I remember.
he came and
Yeah.
he won, right? So
Mhm.
now the thing is, if they would have given Vishnoy the chance, right, then
Mhm.
everybody would have cried, and if say Dubey would have hit him for like 2, 3 sixes, the game was over there,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And easily could have done it. He's done it a number of times to the spinners, right? He was just
Hmm.
restricted because they wanted to bring the game deep, right? If it
Hmm.
had tonked him for 2, 3 sixes, right? Which, and I told you, Vishnu does not have that mystery thing. He just does a googly.
Hmm.
It was easier for him to tonk him either side, yeah.
Sure.
So, and plus it was a bit, due because later half of, due had settled in, right? So
Hmm.
I'm not saying that he was right or wrong. It could be either or. He could have got Dubey's wicket,
Hmm.
or they could have finished the game there and there, and then after that it would have been very easy. So, and even if you see, the call was not bad because the last overs was still a lot of runs were needed,
Yeah.
right? Last 2 overs, it was like
Mhm.
they bought it deep, right?
Yeah.
But they were waiting. If Dubey would have got out,
Hmm.
then Vishnu would have got the last over.
Sure.
They would have given a chance against Dhoni, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was that risk factor and all. And the other thing is not that like Dhoni cannot hit spinners. He has hit in Kunal Pandya and all that, right? They've seen
Mm-hmm.
that. It's just that he does not want to hit like before the 15 overs, because if he gets out, then nobody is there. Right? But they
Yeah.
had a Jamie Overton after him.
Yeah.
So I'm just like this is a hypothesis, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
we need to explain to people, right?
Yeah.
Why or other, right? So
Mm-hmm.
even if say Vishnu would have been coming in the 17th over, right, which
Yeah.
everybody's crying for,
Mm-hmm.
he could have tonked him because most of his ball comes like a googly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you see, Dhoni does not need to step out to hit spinners, right? He'll just stand, he'll go deep in the crease and just hit them right, just hook them towards the onside. So
Sure.
he does that. It's not that like, and he had the power. You saw the sick which hit with one hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he has lost any power.
Yeah.
Bit unlucky for LSG that no
Mm.
ball six.
Yeah.
Yeah, that technically that changed the
That
game,
changed the game. Yeah.
and
But
but till then they even with what Rishabh Pant did, right?
mm-hmm.
Just if you take out that 1 7 runs,
Yeah.
they had everybody, they had everything on control.
Yeah.
It was that 7 runs which, and you can't blame it. It was like due, the later part of the innings, right? Due really comes in. Right?
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for the bowlers to grab this ball. They did
Yeah.
change the ball in between as well. But yeah.
Yeah. But on the flip side, even the LSG lost. For a once their best batsman Makram and Puran failed. It was good to see Rishabh Pant back in form, right? Even though he hasn't scored at 160, 180 strike rate, but he's actually put on a decent partnership with Makram and
But
Badoni.
if you see,
Hmm.
he was the best batsman across both the sides. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was, see, it was not like a 200 pitch, which everybody's thinking about.
Hmm.
Even
Yeah.
like Jadeja, like a lot of people struggled in that.
Hmm.
Vijay, like it was not an easy. Even though, like Dubey, for example, right? You could see that it was not an easy pitch to hit
Sure.
easily,
Hmm.
right? And if not for him, they would have not got those runs, right? When Pathrana came back, right, he was the only guy who could hit him. And
Yeah.
it's not like it's a one-off. He has hit in Pathrana. He's hit him even last season as well. So
Hmm.
it's just that like he knows, because he has the weird shots against
Hmm.
like Scoop and this that, right? So uh, that really helped for them to propel. And this game was like in the balance.
Hmm.
It was not that it was in a balance, right? It was either or. It was not like a one-off. I would say till the last over, till Shardul was bowling, right? It was like either it could go in this side or that side. So it was, the game was really deep in. It was not like anybody had won this game, because it was a
Yeah.
tricky wicket
Hmm.
that we could realize, because nobody got that run. Everybody struggled.
Hmm.
If you see, opening spell was really good by both the bowlers from
Yeah.
CSK side. So overall, it was a good game. Like, but yeah,
Absolutely.
good for
Yeah.
CSK that they came on, and good for Pant as well,
Hmm.
because having that as captain, getting a 50 plus,
Hmm.
in losing cause is still fine, right? But he's got those runs, right? So
Yeah.
now, when he comes next time, right? If it's a good pitch, you will see he might just go like, he won't again like try to get innings together.
Hmm.
He might just go now and try to hit more shots now, because you got some runs behind your back.
Sure.
All this while he was giving like 10, 15 to 5. That does not help. So
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, on that note, obviously it was good to see vintage Dhoni back. Obviously, like the fans wanted, he was there to win the game, and hopefully, CSK, sort of uses this platform to try and win a few more games on the trot and see where they end up in the points table.
yeah, like one way, even for Dhoni, right? The
Mhm.
amount of criticism he has been getting, right?
Yeah.
For no fault of his, right?
Hmm.
The entire batting lineup is, crap,
Disarray.
basically,
Yeah.
the way they were.
Yeah.
Then there's nobody in form. Jadeja not doing well. At least
Hmm.
you have somebody doing well within the team, right?
Yeah.
The entire team has been like, and then so the flack comes because he's still playing.
Hmm.
And that aura and all that, right? So
Yeah.
at least now people would keep quiet. Now they will start looking, okay, because he's got he's done something which in a winning cause,
Yeah.
after a long time, right?
Hmm.
And he's got the player of match after 5 years or something, right?
Sure. Hmm.
So overall, he's got 18 man of the match from the Indian side. Kohli is 18 as well. Rohit Sharma has got 19 MOM.
Wow. Okay.
And so Rohit is like, when he comes good, right?
Yeah. Hopefully that
So
happens as well. It happened with Kohli, it happened with
yeah,
Dhoni. So next it might be Rohit's turn.
yeah, absolutely. He is a great player, man. He will get that. But
Yeah.
is there that like the consistency in, especially in the IPL, right?
Hmm.
That's not there with Rohit. 450, 500 runs, right? That does not come up.
Yeah.
But he gets
Especially
one
when
or two
you're opening the
matches.
innings. Yeah. Hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
So if you can get those consistency of 400 runs, right,
Hmm.
more often or not, your team will qualify. I'm not saying they will win, but at
Hmm.
least they will be in the top four.
Yeah.
If both the opening partners get 400 run,
Yeah.
then if you see in entire history,
Hmm.
you will see one if the openers get those runs, 300, 400, 500 runs,
Yeah.
like they qualify mostly. So that's the only thing with Rohit. But yeah. But yeah,
Yep.
so that's there, and I hope to see. Like I think the Tripathi might be dropped, but just like CSK being CSK, they won.
Hmm.
They will get a good pitch in Wankhede,
Yeah. The next game is
and a
against Mumbai.
batsman. Yeah, and a batsman like Tripathi, right?
Hmm.
He hasn't got a good pitch, yeah. So that we have to see that side as well, right?
Hmm.
All the tricky pitches he got, like Chennai, all the dead, like there were like three of matches were played
Sticky
there.
pitches. Yeah. Hmm.
The Guwahati also was like a tricky one, if you see. So this one is where they might get a good pitch where you can score 200.
Hmm.
So I don't know. They might give one last chance to see if the pitch is good. They might bring in, keep the same team. It's a winning combination now.
Sure.
So they
Yeah.
might give Tripathi a chance.
Yep.
And that's it. Like so.
Yeah. Let's see how things unfold for CSK, and obviously, vice versa. LSG, they have some big games coming up as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
Punk, as always, appreciate your insights. When CSK does well and LSG does well, I know you're the most happiest person. That's just behind Mr. Goenka. So appreciate all the insights. Hopefully, Goenka was happy with the LSG's performance yesterday, and vice versa, Dhoni winning the game
Yes.
because there's some history there. But yeah, for our viewers, subscribers, hope you enjoy the insights. Anything to do with CSK, he's the man, right behind Dhoni. Anything you want to know about CSK, he's the man. Anything you want to know about LSG, he's the man. You want to reach out to him straight, please do comment. I'll share his details. You want to do the
I,
honors in Amar's absence?
yes. That's the bell I'm going.
Yes, please hit the bell icon. Thank you. Bye.